Okay, those at the back can hear me? Elroy, can you hear me? Can you hear? Do you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. Clearer than yesterday or? Oh, good. Okay, so basically today is about how to, oops. I have to put the timer on. Okay. First, as we discussed yesterday, we'll do a little bit of meditation, which we learned yesterday. Following that, we are going to. Okay, Elroy, can you hear me? Good. Those at the back, all of you hear me? Good. Okay, first we'll do a little bit of. For this, we have Professor Geshe ji here for today in place of Dr. Savita ji. Yeah, Dr. Savita ji has some engagement, and Dr. Anita has some sore throat, and I had the sore throat on the first day, and now it's going away. Okay, so first we'll do the meditation. I'll quickly do a little bit of a review of what we did before so that it'll be clear to our mind. And as I said earlier, this meditation purely secular in nature, meaning that anybody can do this. It is like, say, just focusing your mind on the same particular object, concentrating on anything. So with this in mind, 4 things to keep in mind. Number 1 is body posture. Number 2 is focal point. Number 3 is identifying the errors of meditation. And number 4 is applying the remedies to overcome the errors. So your 4 points. The first, for the posture at home, if you can try the cross-legged, this is very good, but this is not mandatory. Cross-legged, particularly for somebody who wants to sit for a long term, for a long duration meditation. For such people, cross-leg would be very helpful. It'll keep you alert for a longer period of time. Otherwise, there are 2 things which are so important. Number 1 is body upright. Body upright, this is so important. This will make sure that you will see the difference. If you are a beginner meditation, you may not see the difference, but if you keep doing it for some time, over time you will see the difference. That the moment you lean against the support, your mind will instantly become loose. And you keep your body upright, not leaning against the support, it'll be very fresh. Okay, this is one thing. Then the head tilted forward a little bit, and eyes not closed. 2 things so important. Number 1 is the back upright. Number 2 is eyes not closed. Eyes are half closed, 45 degrees cast down, and just ignore. And then your tongue, tip of the tongue should touch the upper palate in case if you have any issue with doing the meditation, saliva accumulating in your mouth. So there, if you keep the tip of the tongue touching the upper palate, it'll reduce the amount of the accumulation of saliva in the mouth. And teeth and lips in their natural course. Breathe normally. and right hand on the left hand, and the tips of the thumbs joining form a triangle. Place the two hands in your lap in restful state. Breathe normally. Just make sure that your body is upright but very flexible. Okay, this is the idea. Number 2 is focal point. What are you going to focus on? So what we said is that a tiny white dot, like say they say you punch a piece of punch a paper, a sheet, and white the circular thing come out. So like this size, you visualize the same thing between nose and upper lip. So this is what we're going to do, visualize. While you visualize that, multitasking. That is the counted breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Very naturally. Breathe in, breathe out. Cycle 1. Breathe in, breathe out. Cycle 2. This is what we're going to do for let's say 5 minutes. And when you are by yourself, when you do this practice yourself, I would suggest you do just like 21 cycles. 21 cycles is a little over 1.5 minutes. Whereas when you become good at it, then you can prolong the period of your the session from 21 cycles to 5 minutes, which is about, like, for young people, like 60 cycles, for olders like me, like 100 cycles. It depends on individual, like 5 minutes. Okay. In other words, two things happening together, but from your attempts, simply because the first time, second time, you feel it difficult with these two things happening together, doing two things. You may find it difficult. Don't give up simply because it's difficult the first few days. You just give attempt to this, and over time you can be successful. Whereas with the best of your efforts for 1 week, 2 weeks, and still if you cannot manage two things, then go for one. Counting the breath would be easier for you. In some cases, visualization will be easier. Whichever is easier, go for one rather than multitasking. Okay. Then the next is identifying the errors of meditation. What kind of mistakes can we make through the meditation? Two things: mental laxity and mental excitement. Mental laxity is where the mind becomes heavy, lethargic, and inserviceable. And mental excitement is when the mind is overactive and being scattered here and there. How to overcome these two errors? Apply the remedies to overcome the errors. Again, two remedies: introspection and mindfulness. Introspection is to keep an eye on your mind to see if your mind is meditating or not meditating, to see if your mind is distracted or in a relaxed state. If you do find that your mind is in a relaxed state or distracted, then apply the remedies. That is the mindfulness. Bring the mind back to the intended object of the meditation. Ready? Okay. So we do for the 5 minutes. Okay, starts. you. Okay, any questions related to meditation? Any questions? Oh, yes. Okay. Okay, this is a very serious question. Is it necessary to be a dot or a flower or anything? Okay, so here the purpose is, say, when you are studying, let's say you are studying physics or you're studying, say, social studies when you're in school. You have to focus on social studies, don't think about physics, don't think about mathematics. You're getting it? So the thing is that your mind, we are to discipline our mind, to tell our mind to do what you want, what you have to do. So if the mind says, no, 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 I want a beautiful flower, which means your mind is not listening to you. So you have to manage your mind. You're getting it? So how to do that is somehow, don't let the mind control you. You have to manage your mind. So for that matter, let's say that, oh no, it's so difficult, flower is better, or my mother's better here. Don't allow the mind to decide. You have to decide for the mind. So how to do that? Is where it is, because it is difficult, we need practice. If it's not difficult, why should we have to practice? Right? For example, we don't need practice for breakfast, eating breakfast. It's very easy. What is easy does not require practice. So these are the things, particularly training your mind, requires a great deal of practice. So how to do that? Yesterday I did mention this to, oh yeah, here. Your name? Okay, Dr. Punam. So I did tell her that we have to look for ways and means to make things happen. Don't say that, oh no, it's difficult, so I go for something else. No. So somehow you have to make it happen. So what I said was that just try to create a tiny white dot paper, attach it here, and look at the mirror and see how it appears. Then close your eyes, keep the mirror there, close your eyes and see if the same thing you have seen in the mirror is what can come to your mind's eye. If you cannot, again open your eyes and see in the mirror. Again you see, again close your eyes and see. If you succeed, this is how we progress. Remove the mirror. Remove the mirror, then keep your eyes open and see if you succeed. You can succeed. Initially, don't expect vividness. Initially something happens, then that we call it like silhouette happens. Continue with this and the clarity will pick up naturally. Okay, good. Yes. Good question. This was the question which I was expecting since yesterday. Why the eyes need to be open? This question. This is a very serious question. Initially, for the beginners, if you keep your eyes closed, it's more, it's more soothing. It sounds so like it's more effective for you. But this is deceptive. Deceptive. Okay, when you fall asleep, you fall asleep with eyes open, eyes closed. Eyes closed. You're getting it? So when eyes close, the tendency is that your mind becomes a little cloudy. The meditation is to make your mind vivid and lucid, not to make it cloudy. The moment you keep your eyes, okay, just try it. In most cases, you keep your eyes open like this, it's very clear in your mind. Close your eyes, instantly something will envelop your mind. You'll feel it. Do it right now. Do it. And do you see difference? Open your eyes and then close your eyes. You see the difference that your mind is like clouded the moment you close your eyes. Do you see the difference? So that's it. So people, what happens is that people when they fear that, oh, I'm going to fall off, they doze off, right? They deliberately try to keep the eyes open. The moment they keep their eyes, close their eyes, instantly they'll fall asleep. So, in other words, you will build a very bad habit of keeping the mind very cloudy in a meditation, and your mind will never become vivid and lucid in a practice. So finally, the practice should be that that your mind becomes so lucid, so fresh, so clear. This idea. Good. Any more questions? Okay. Now we'll next. Now it's a little technical part. I don't know how I will succeed. If you understand today's lecture, then this mark of my success. Because this is something, the topic that we're going to discuss is what, say, the people study for many years. And we are doing it in 1 and, I think about like 1 and 15 minutes. 15 minutes, there's a great break there. Okay, of course I cannot go into detail. The idea is that what we learned from yesterday, 2 days ago, about the how the mind operates, how the mind works. Good. Okay, so we're talking about these 5. Anybody who remembers these 5 points? Okay, I'll hide this first. What are the 5 ever-present mental factors? Quick, raise hands. Yesterday, the lady over there did it. Today, Dr. Pulam, you want to do it? Yes. Contact. Attention. Discrimination. Feelings. Wow. Okay. Thank you. So these things, if you have one of fingertips, then you can observe your mind so well and then see how the mind really behaves and how you become agitated, how you can cool down, calm down your agitation, how the happiness arises, how the joy arises. You can see all these things within your mind as though like you are watching a movie. And whereas if you don't have these on your fingertips, then the problem is that, okay, he said something, the 5, but what is 5 I have in the notebook, right? Or I can ask the Nandish for the PowerPoint. Okay, I don't know where he is, right? So we tend to then procrastinate, just leave it like this. Okay, so you have on your fingertips. It's so beautiful. It's so convenient for you. To just, the best part of yourself is to observe your mind. Observe your mind and see how the mind works. Say, when you are young, just see how the young mind works. And you feel so tired, no, I cannot think. Don't worry, just observe this tired mind. This is amazing, right? No, I cannot do anything. Just observe this mind which says, I cannot do anything. Observe what that's like. This is beautiful. Okay, so with this in mind, as Dr. Pulam said, the 5 ever-present mental factors. Now, what we discussed the last 3 sessions is that what is mental ill health, mental problems. So mental problems, oh, I don't have any more mental problem, I'm perfect. So we do have some problems. Say the mental problems can be, say, 50% and above. People say that, oh, she has mental problem, he has mental problem. If the problem is less than 50%, people take it as normal. Each one of us, we have some problem there. Some mental problems there. Be 10%, 20%, 30%, maybe less than 50%. So, what's the problem? The problem is where you don't want agitation and the agitation arises. That's the problem. And this agitation, if it goes intense, if you say it goes more than 50%, That is stress. And if it becomes intense, it becomes anxiety. If it has become chronic, it is depression. It becomes too deep depression, chronic depression. So this is what it is. So we all have these problems to some degree. How do we know that? Just practice. For example, today what we're going to discuss. Yesterday we did the meditation, and today we're going to do the how to change discrimination, and then to change our feeling, to control, manage our intention. So this is what we're going to discuss today. And tomorrow, the same thing, how to change the discrimination differently, in a different way. So that way, to manage our feelings, from unpleasant feeling to the pleasant feeling, calm feeling. Some people, what they do is that, for example, let's say, some people, let's say, they come to my office with so much of stress, and some people will say that, Geshe, I'd like to talk to you. They're on phone. I can't do anything. They talk to me. There's so much stress. And then I give some suggestions. Then after about like 10 minutes of talk, they will say that, okay, now I feel more calm. So here what is happening? The feeling is changed. Unpleasant feeling is changed to the pleasant feeling. So there, with the pleasant feeling, you want it. Because you want it, you embrace it, you don't reject it. Embrace it. This intention to embrace, that is what is mean the calmness of your mind. And if you embrace if you embrace, say, 1 kilometer square area, your happiness is 1 kilometer square area. And if you embrace infinite space, you have infinite happiness. So, learn how to embrace the infinite space and the most profound space. This is what we're learning today. Okay, so today is the fearlessness, and tomorrow is the infinite space, infinite happiness. Today is fearlessness, total fearlessness. How to get rid of all the fears. And don't think that tomorrow you become fearless. Right? Quantum mechanics. Quantum mechanics is not about overnight transformation. You know what Niels Bohr said? If you study quantum mechanics, and if you're not shocked by it, you have not understood the quantum mechanics yet. Which means that it'll take time. But we have to just see, once you get a flavor of what the dreamlike nature of phenomena is, how everything's like a dream, there's nothing for me to be afraid of. Everything's like a dream. Don't follow blindly. This is what I've been sharing from day one. When I speak about that everything's like a dream, be audacious to ask me, how can I be convinced that everything's like a dream? Okay, this is important. Once you know that, just as in the dream, you see dream goes as real. And what's the outcome? Fear. So fear is the result of this ignorance, seeing the dream goes as real. And the dream ghost is chasing you and you're running. There's so much of fear. What happens? Then your mother wakes you up. The fear dissolves. You stop running. Why didn't you run? Why are you not running? Why are you not running? And the fear stops. Why you are not running? Because now I realize that it was just my dream. The dream is not real. Dream as dream. That is wisdom. This is not ignorance. What is the outcome of this wisdom? The fear dissolves. So, if you wake up in the dream, let's say that a dream ghost chases you, and your father comes. And what happened, my daughter? This ghost is chasing me. And then your father does some ritual, puja, whatever, or show a cross, or show Om, and so forth, and the ghost retreats. But this is a temporary relief. You are still in the dream. And again, then the father says, are you okay now? Can I leave? Yes, thank you. Father leaves, and the ghost comes again from behind the tree. Right? So that was a temporary solution. What's the ultimate solution? Tell me. Hey, what's the ultimate solution? Wake up. You wake up, if nothing in the dream can affect you anymore. Nothing in the dream can create fear to you anymore. You're totally fearless with respect to every content of the dream. Wake up. So likewise, we are going through two dreams. One is a conventional dream, and the other one is unconventional dream. Today, right now, you are in the unconventional dream. The last night, you went to sleep, you must have dreamt about meditation. That was the conventional dream. What is happening now is an unconventional dream. From the conventional dream, you have been waking up every day. But from the unconventional dream, we have never woken up. Now we have to try to wake up, to realize that everything is like a dream. How to wake up? This next question. Okay. For this matter, okay, let's say that okay, this fly is beautiful. Let's say this fly is beautiful. Okay, just try to take part in this. I know that you are all very serious. I know from your facial expression, I can see that you are very serious. Just, if you cannot, say, I may not have time to let you interact verbally, but at least mentally you interact with me. That is so important if you want to really reap the benefit of this concept. So this flower is beautiful. When you say this flower is beautiful, some people, this is really not really done by professional. This is done by Tibet House, just a young boys. They did this. And if the professional, they come, not so beautiful. But we may see as, wow, this is beautiful. Okay, so we see that same object is described as differently by two different people. Right? How many agree with me? That's true, that's obvious. Raise hands? Yes. Now the point is, so this say, for some people, oh, this is nice, very pleasant feeling comes. For some people, it's not so, this is not so professional. The line is to, at the top, the gap is small, at the side, the gap is smaller. It's very unprofessional. So pleasant feeling is unpleasant. Okay, do you agree with me that in the course of this, what is happening, whether you appreciate it or whether you don't appreciate this, what is happening is that there is the interaction happening between your mind and the object. How many agree with me? Raise hands. Good. This interaction happening between your mind and the object. When your mind, don't ask me what is this mind, is it the mind, the brain, just keep it as it, the subject, your mind or the brain, whatever, let's say subject. And the object, interplay of the object and subject. Let's see that, say for example, say for some people, believe it or not, for some people, when they see the, say the swastika, this makes them paranoid. They simply don't want to see the swastika. What's a swastika? Because it retrieves a very bad, scary memory of the past. Hitler. So with this, the same object, the object, you don't have to actually physically interact with it, but simply by the perception, your mind is affected. All these 5 things are happening. Say, come in contact with the swastika, then you pay attention. Is this swastika? Pay attention. Answers, yes, it is discrimination. Yes, it is swastika. And the feeling is very unpleasant feelings and you want to mentally reject it. So that creates, that is the rejection, mental intention of the rejection, that is the agitation. So all these five are happening there. Now, finally, nothing to do with this object. Finally, the job is that you have to subdue your agitation. To subdue the agitation, to calm the agitation, you have to don't let the mind move involuntarily. Don't let the mind to have the intention to move involuntarily. Stop that intention. How to stop it? How to stop it? Anyone? How to stop this involuntary intention movement? Anyone else? Huh? Observe it. Anyone else? Don't react. Anyone else? Okay, what is immediate? Don't bypass something. What you said is correct, but okay, the five. Anyone? And yes, who's that? Good. So what we said, how I explained it was contact, attention, discrimination, feeling, and intention. Intention of the involuntary movement. That is the agitation. To stop that, we have to change the immediate factor, which is the feeling. How to change the feeling? By changing the discrimination. Let's not forget it. You're getting it? Okay, again, classwork, not homework. Homework, I'm not too sure whether you'll do it. Classwork. Okay, to remove this, the mental intention of the involuntary movement, what should you do? Change the feeling. Don't just say feeling. Feeling means change the feeling or keep the feeling. Change the feeling from unpleasant to the pleasant. How to change the feeling from unpleasant to the pleasant? By changing the discrimination. Okay, each one of us we will say this. Ready? Each one of us. Ready? Okay. This is the basic principle. If you don't know this, then all what you're going to do will make you so bored, confused. Okay. How many are confident that now I know these five things, how the five things work? Raise your hands. Only then I'll move to the next point. Good. Okay. So what we see is that the object and subject, there's interaction with the object and the subject. So with this interaction, then whether you are happy, unhappy, cheesecake, you're very happy. Said Nandesh, he brings cheesecake for the break. Oh, there's cheesecake in the air. You all smile, right? Although it is yet to come in contact with your tongue, still there's a joy coming in your mind. So whereas, okay, so the object makes a difference. Interaction with the object and subject, that determines whether mind is agitated or not agitated. Agitation, take that in the form of the movement of the mind. When it's a voluntary movement, it is happiness. When it's involuntary movement of the mind, this is agitation. Agitation can take the form of stress, anxiety, depression. Okay, so how to change it? By changing the feeling from unpleasant feeling to the pleasant feeling. How to change it? To change the discrimination. How to change the discrimination? Okay, this is what we are doing, a part of it, and a part of it tomorrow, part of it today. Okay, let's say on the, now this object, okay, you are seeing this. If I ask you what is this, raise hands very quick to save time. Okay, Dr. Poonam. Glass of water. How many agree with Dr. Poonam? Raise hands. Good. If I ask the same question to the chemist, they will say this is H2O. If I ask the same question to physicists, they will say bunch of electrons, protons, neutrons. Who is correct? Which of the three answers is correct? All are correct. Okay. If you see this as water, and if you're very thirsty under scorching heat, you just feel like drinking it. If you see this as a bunch of electrons, protons, neutrons, you don't feel like drinking it. You're getting it? So the perception has a lot to contribute to your emotional stirs, to your emotional the situation. The perception makes the difference to your emotional. Perception what? Perception of the object. You're getting it? Object. Now, see that this is so important. We're talking about what? Can anybody they remind me to the original thing that I'm supposed to be explaining today? Fearlessness, yes. Then what else? Good. Okay. Anyone? To how to see everything like a dream. Right? If we, in the dream, we fail to see the dream as dream. We see the dream as real. We see the dream as coming from the object. Okay, by the way, how many of you have watched a movie in a movie theater? Raise hands. Okay, good. So let's say that you are watching a movie here, on the screen here. And where is the movie coming from? Tell me. Behind. What is that? Projector. So the projector is behind you. This is a very important concept. Where is the movie? Movie is on the screen. Where is the movie coming from? Coming from projector. You're getting it? Let's not forget it. Movie is on the screen. It's not from the screen. It's from the projector. The movie is on the screen, but not from the screen. Where is it coming from then? If it is not coming from the screen, where is it coming from? From the projector behind you. Likewise, the dream. In the dream, you see the dream as real from the screen. When you wake up, you realize that your dreaming mind was the projector, and the dream was actually coming from the projector like your dreaming mind. So when you realize that things are coming from your mind, that is when you realize that things are like dream. Dream means something which is coming from your mind, not really from the object. You getting it? So if you know that everything is coming from your mind, everything it's a huge debate, discussions, and many years of analysis. And if you succeed in this, it's extremely, rewarding, and it's a freedom for you. You can feel the freedom of your mind. Okay. So the point is how everything is like a dream. This is what we're going to learn. So what is unique thing about the dream? The dream is purely coming from the subject, not from the object. Okay. Tell me, what is the unique thing about the dream? Quick. The dream is not real. Dream, does it exist or not? Okay, raise your hands those who say dream does exist. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dream does not exist. Okay, exist, not exist, just give this answer. It does not exist, raise hands. Okay, now let me share with you the dream chocolate. Dream chocolate, is it a chocolate? Hey, it's not a chocolate. Dream chocolate, does it exist as a chocolate? No. Dream chocolate, does it exist as a dream chocolate? Yes. How many agree with me? So dream chocolate, although it does not exist as a real chocolate, it does exist as a dream chocolate. How many agree with me? Raise hands. Good. What's the difference between a dream chocolate and a real chocolate? Quick. Yes. Here, Chetan. Okay, the real chocolate, there's object there. Dream chocolate, there's a physicality there. Good. Anyone else? What's the difference between dream chocolate and real chocolate? There are so many differences. Anyone? More? Do you agree with me that the dream chocolate is purely coming from my mind? My mind is creating it. And the real chocolate is not coming from my mind. How many agree with me? Raise hands. Good. Now, not only the dream chocolate is coming from my mind, you are going to learn that even the real chocolate is also coming from your mind. Right? It's weird. Because it's weird, we have the class. If you say that, if there's a class is on, oh, how to see the dream chocolate as coming from your mind, nobody will come. Everybody knows it. So how the real chocolate is coming from my mind, not only the dream chocolate, how the real chocolate is coming from the mind, that requires a class. Okay, how many of you are keen to know this? Okay, first thing, how many of you are keen to get away from all the fears of life? Raise hands. How many are serious with this? Raise hands. How many are serious? And do you want to do anything for that purpose? Are you sure? If today I ask you to do something and the next day you have the total fearlessness for good, you want to do it? If I ask you to sell your house and tomorrow you'll be totally free and guaranteed, I give you a signature, then would you do it? Yes, of course. Why do you want house? Because I fear that without house, the Goa rain is terrible. How can I survive in the rain? With the rain, instead of fear, there should be joy coming in you. So this joy of the rain falling on your body is stopped by the shelter. Without the shelter, it's better. You're getting it? What I'm saying is that whether or not it is possible, this is a different question. In other words, if you're very serious with this, don't give up your house right now. Don't give up anything. Simply learn this and see if it makes sense. And meanwhile, let us keep in mind, this has nothing to do, it's pure philosophy. Right? With this, what I would suggest is that if you are a Christian, remain a good Christian. If you're a Hindu, remain a good Hindu. If you're a Muslim, remain a good Muslim. Jain, Jew, what? Baha'i, Parsi, Buddhist, non-Buddhist, non-believers. Whatever you are, become a very good representative of that community. So through understanding this, you should start to feel empathy towards all others who are suffering. That is so important. It's pure philosophy. So just as we study physics, okay, now I give up Buddhism, I give up Christianity because I'm now into physics. Nobody says this. You can be a good philosopher, you can be a good physicist, but maintain your religion. This is so important. Don't create problems in a family. Don't create problems in a family because you have studied physics, because you have studied chemistry, because you have studied neuroscience. Don't create problems in the family, particularly the family where the religion is being like a very stronghold. Okay, this is so important. Now what we're saying is that on the dream, the unique feature of the dream, one of the unique features of the dream is that the dream is coming from your mind. Raise hands. We agree with this. Okay. So with this, if you come to know that things are coming from the manner in which you see the dream as dream, your fears dissolve. Raise hands. We agree with me. Good. How many of you had that dream? Nightmare. You wake up and you felt such a relief. Anybody? Raise hands. Who had that experience? Yes. In fact, I had several experiences. Once I was with I was reflecting on this dream-like nature of phenomena for years and years as a young boy, thinking about it so much. And in the dream, once I dreamt of one of my seniors, and in the dream I was telling that you are a part of my dream. You are a part of my dream. And he said that in the dream he was telling me, are you sure I'm part of your dream? I said, yes, you're a dream. You're part of my dream. Then he started to punch me. And I said, okay, don't worry, it's a dream, so it will not hurt me, right? Very strange experiences happen. I may not go into detail. If I were to be with you for like another 6-7 more on these sessions, I'll be happy to go through these details. The thing was that there, say the dream constructs can affect your physiology. And the physiology, when affected, for example, say some people just touch the hand and the person can feel enormous pain. Not because then you are hitting like hard, just touch. The pain is just like a whole boulder or crush on you. So these are all related to the physiology. Physiology and the psychology. These two are. Okay, keeping that aside. So the point is how to see things like dream. So before I go further, again, let me be very sure that you are following me. So why are we trying to know things like a dream? Quick, somebody. Why? So what's the benefit? Anyone? Quick. Why are we struggling to know that things are all like dream? To be fearless. Okay. Anybody who can explain how, if you know things are like dream, you become fearless? In your own words. In your own words, just explain it. Quick. Somebody. How, if you come to know that things are like dream, your fears will dissolve? How do you explain it? In your own words, yes, here. Sorry? Oh, dream will come to the end. Okay, let's say 2021. There's so much problem, right? Don't worry, 2021, no, 2023, 2022, right? There's a flood in Goa. Oh, don't worry, it'll come to an end. Yes, of course, 2020 will come to an end. Yes, no? But you have to take measures. Simply because it will come to an end doesn't mean that your fear will dissolve. Okay, anybody else? Anyone else? Quick. What I'm asking is that how, if you know things are like dream, what's the benefit? This girl said that it will give you fearlessness. What's the correlation? Knowing things like a dream versus the fearlessness as the result. What's the correlation? This question. How? Yes. Okay. Okay, so let us all listen to Dr. Savidaji. So, with a study philosophy, when will you enjoy the study philosophy? Is when you don't make it technical. You keep it very simple, the way Dr. Savidaji kept it. Very simple, that it is easily understandable and yet does not lose the rigor of the philosophy. When that happens, this is a good philosophy. Whereas you talk something so profound and you don't understand what is being said, you are not convinced. That is a bad philosophy. You're getting it? So that you should be able to express it in simple terms. So therefore I just emphatically I told you that in your own words, I mean, don't worry. It may not be 100% good or 80% good. Still just attempt. This attempt will make your intelligence to grow. And that is what is required to see everything as like dream. In other words, what Dr. Savidaji said, that if you come to realize everything is like dream, you come to know that they are not real, they're all coming from your mind. If they're coming from your mind, then your mind stops the agitation, involuntary pull and push. You getting it? Okay. Let's say, How many of you know prank? Prank. What is prank? Okay, say throw a rubber snake and the person is so frightened. And the person starts to laugh at it when come to know this is rubber. Right? This is a prank. Okay, so initially with the rubber, how this fear dissolves? The person starts to laugh. Tell me, somebody. When you come to know the reality, that is not a real snake. What you earlier, but you saw a snake there before. That was just illusion coming from your mind. You're getting it? When you come to know it's coming from your mind, the fear dissolves. You're getting it? This is so important. And in fact, I can see that from your, say, the interest that you are taking in, I should have more classes. Because we can go into more nuances. Okay. So basically the idea is this is very important thing. For example, let's say that what happened if this is a cheesecake? If this is a cheesecake, and let's say that Elroy is next to me, right? I'm very serious. Elroy, raise hand. Okay. Elroy is sitting next to me, and I know that he's also so keen on cheesecake. I'm also so keen on cheesecake. So, and Elroy, okay, he's very considerate, he's very kind. But let's say that he is not at all considerate of me. And the cheesecake is closer to him, right? Cheesecake is brought by Sharmilaji from Pune. Then it can go to either one of us, right? Okay, so what will I do? I'll try to grab at it before Elroy grabs at it. How many agree with me, sense? Okay, take it very seriously. You're getting it? This is not like a story. It's a philosophy. Okay, now, do you agree with me? What do you mean by, how should I grab at this? How should I grab at this cheesecake? Cheesecake is a little there. What will I do to grab at it? Anyone? That's a symbol. Hey, stretch your hands. You're getting it? He must be looking for some exotic philosophy answer. No, just say, stretch your hand before he stretches his hand. You're getting it? Stretch your hand. Let's say if there's a wall there, can I stretch my hand? Okay, when I stretch my hand means that there's something outside there. You're getting it? There's something object there. When I see that there's no object, it's coming from my mind, my hand will stop stretching. If I know that is coming, that cheesecake is coming from my mind. In the dream, let's say, in the real life, you may get a little confused. In the dream, say there's a struggle, a fight between me and Elroy, and I want to get it. So what will I do? In the dream, I'll put effort to stretch my hand towards the cheesecake. Yes? No? In the dream, suddenly I come to realize this is a dream, right? Say, this girl, what's your name? Huh? So let's say, Veda says, hey, Gisela, you were talking about a dream, now this dream, right? Then just imagine, I realize it's a dream. Will I continue to grab at it, or I'll stop grabbing at it? I'll stop grabbing at it. Because I realize that there's no object there, there's no object from the object. You getting it? There's no cheesecake from the object that that my hand has to go to grab at it. Because I know that it's coming from my mind. So this involuntary, there's actually loss of control. I want it. When I don't get it, there's agitation there. So this is just, my mind becomes so weak. I want it. This is weakness. The moment I realize this dream, I'll stop. My mind finds the calmness. Even if the Elroy snatches it away, it's fine. He got a dream chocolate, dream cheesecake, right? My mind is at ease. So this is a benefit. That from the object there's nothing there for my hand to go to grab at it. You getting it? There are many questions which you can come up. Feel free to bring up all these questions. You getting it? Applying this to the real life. Say this is real water there. This is not imaginary water. And we are all very thirsty. And Elroy is just sitting next to me. And he doesn't know me. And I get a hunch that he used to get this water. And this is only water. So what do I do? I'll try to get it first. Right? So here what happens is that my mind is seeing the water as coming from the object. And yet the reality we're going to learn is that this water is coming from the subject. It's not from the object. It's an object there. It's an object there, but it's a movie there. Movie's on the screen, not from the screen. You getting it? Movie is from the projector. Your mind is a projector. Your mind is the best of the projector, but I would say the most efficient projector. Say the movie projectors, if they stop for 1 second, the whole movie stops for 1 second, right? But our projector, this mind, is so efficient, it never stops. And there's nothing good about it. Because it never stops, it makes us suffer endlessly. So we have to learn how this is a projector here. We don't see this as a projector. We see everything so real. Actually, it's your projection. Okay, let's see. In the dream, let's say that you fall asleep. Then you start to have the dream. Do you agree with me, number one, that you fall asleep, then your mind starts to create the dream. Do you agree with me? Step number one. Your mind creates the dream, which means your mind projects the dream. Your mind is a projector, number one. Number two, you are unaware that your mind is projecting the dream. Do you agree with me? Number two. Number three, because that you are unaware that is your mind creating this dream ghost, you see that ghost as from the object. You agree with me? Number three, because you see dream ghost as from the object, then the dream ghost scares you. Number four, because it scares you, you run away, you react. That's number five. You're getting it? So this reaction, your intention to run away. Intention to run away is because the dream ghost is scaring you. You agree with me? And how the dream ghost is scaring you? Because you see the dream ghost as the real from the object. How do you see the dream ghost as real from the object? Because you are unaware that it's your mind projecting it. Right? So actually it is your mind which is projecting it. The moment you realize that it's your mind projecting it, then you will not see it as from the object. When you don't see it as from the object, this object will not scare you. Okay, just imagine the ghost sitting next to you. Just imagine a ghost sitting next to you. Okay, how many of you are running now? You're not running. But you have imagined the ghost next to you. Why are you not scared? You know that it is your mental creation. When you know this is your mental creation, you are not scared. You're getting it? And I'm sure many of you will say that a real tiger comes there, you say there is your mental projection, that tiger will still kill you. All these questions will come. Feel free to ask this question later on. You're getting it? Okay. So the point is, what we're learning here is that if we come to know that things are coming from the subject, the way one knows that the dream is coming from the subject, your fears will dissolve. This is the whole purpose. And let's not forget that if you're very serious with this, if you're very serious to know that so I would say, anybody who applied for this one, not in the a certificate course. Okay. Certificate, I'm not too sure if the board will accept you now, but you can apply. I said it earlier. So if you're really serious with this, you have to study more deeply. Without studying deeply, just one lecture will not help you. But I'll just give you like a movie, what do you call it? Movie trailer. You call it trailer? Huh? Movie trailer, right? Okay. So the point is that if you change this perception, it's dream, right? It's dream. Say the dream goes. It was dream. You change the perception, you change the discrimination. The dream goes earlier, dream goes as real goes to the dream goes as dream goes. When you change the discrimination, feeling is changed. Unpleasant feeling is removed. When the unpleasant feeling is removed, you feel the relief. You want it or not want it, you want it. So the intention to embrace it, your mind will be calm. You're getting it? Okay. So when the child, okay, when your child is crying, what do you do? Huh? Huh? You hug it? Are you sure? Dora Savita? Yes. Dora Savita, she did everything, but she forgot. Right? She would give a toy which makes sounds, talk, 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 right? And give it, and then talk, 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 and the child instantly distracted, right? Yes. Okay, okay, okay. So what happens is, so this child, the mind distracted towards something else is pulled. What makes the child unpleasant? Feels unpleasant. The discriminations change by shifting the object. Shifting the object, and the feeling, unpleasant feeling created by the earlier discrimination, that stops. Right? Now what we do is that we don't shift the object. We look at the same object and we change the perception to change the discrimination. So what is seen as real, we see it as like a dream. Instantly, the feeling changes. When the feeling changes from unpleasant to the pleasant, then the mind feels settled. That is how you, say, save yourself, protect yourself from mental agitation, anxiety, stress, depression, and sadness also. This is extremely powerful practice. Okay, so how to change this perception, to change the discrimination? How to change this? This is what I was asking. What is this? We'll all say this is a glass of water. If I ask this question to the chemist, they will say this is H2O. And if I ask this to the physicist, particle physicist, they will say this electrons, protons, neutrons. Okay. And which of the three perceptions is correct? And you said all are correct. Okay, let me see what's the time. It's already 4. Okay, others, you like short break? Then let's go for 15 minutes break. 15 or 10 minutes break and quickly come back. Yes. Quick. Any question? Before we go further. Huh? Because tomorrow's the last day, right? And then I'll be, I'll not be in Goa. But even if you were to ask, you cannot ask me. Yes, email you. Yes, that's true. Okay, no question. Yes, over here. Tendencies. Okay, so what Chetan is asking is that even if I realize that things are all like dream, still there's a habitual tendency there. So how to get over this? Okay, this is it is like, let's say that one example given by the great teacher is that if there's one particular room in dark for ages, so so this has been the tendency to be in dark for ages. You light a lamp instantly, however many ages, for ages it was dark, it'll be over. Likewise, when you see the reality, seeing the reality, not seeing the reality, these two are different. For example, like say that my mind is habituated towards, let's say, seeing the curtains. And someone say, hey, Geshe, don't look at the curtains, look at what you're teaching, right? So there, the curtain, just as the curtains is like a dream, this is also like a dream. So it's not, say, the unfolding the reality. I'm simply switching the object from one to the next object. So there, the tendency can move me back, take me back from the alcoholism and all these bad habits. They all come back. Whereas relapse. Whereas when you see the reality, same object, you don't run away. Same object, you change the perception, your discrimination changes, and instantly it's like waking up, right? Even though you dream for like, so you sleep for 7 hours. 7 hours you had a very scary dream, nightmare. You wake up, the moment you wake up, instantly the fear dissolves. You will not say the 7 hours I've been into fear, I've built a tendency. Don't worry. Yeah, good question. Yes, over there. Say it again. Okay, so what exactly are the dreams? This is the next question. What exactly are the dreams? So Sigmund Freud talks about some subconscious mental states. And so one thing which is for sure is what happened in the past. These memories are there within you. Say neuroscientists will speak about the memories stored, short-term memory, long-term memories. So these will be activated in the form of dreams. This is one thing. Then the other things which never happened before. Some very strange things happen. So what are these? So these, they say, scientifically speaking, it is way too early to describe this, but from the advocates of rebirth. So these are all coming from your past life. But in this technical, like in the university setting, I never talk about rebirth until the topic is on this. Okay, and that we have a very short session. Rebirth is a huge topic. It's very interesting. SM is a very huge topic, and if you go on blind faith, no point. So rationally, how we can talk about it. Okay, this is one thing. Good. Ready? Yes. Okay. Can you give me an example? Deep. let's say that okay, so what I would tell you is that don't think of me as like a angel or as like a what? Huh? Don't think of me like so like I'm the one who give all the answers. You're getting it? So what we suggest is that first study this, and you come to discover that what I'm seeing is not the reality. What I'm seeing is coming from my mind. You must discover this first. Don't ground your, say, the positions on the blind faith. It must be discovered. And the Buddha did not invent this. He simply discovered it. This is reality which existed way before Buddha became Buddha. He just discovered it. Quantum mechanics. This is not the invention of Niels Bohr. These are the discoveries. Relativity theory is not the invention of Albert Einstein. It's the discovery of Einstein. You getting it? So you have to discover that. Once you discover that, only then all this will be resolved. The higher aspirations that you have, are they okay? By the way, I'll say your name. Sorry. Okay, Joyce. Let's say that what Joyce is saying, that if everything is illusion, so one thing, a distinction should be made, that everything's like illusion and illusion. These two are different. Illusion-like and illusion, these two are different. If you see everything is illusion, this is nihilism. Nihilism is a problem. Nihilism does not accord with the reality. Illusion-like, there's no contradiction with things as illusion-like and the infallible functionality to the world. Infallible functionality to the world and illusion-like, these two are compatible to each other. Whereas illusion and the infallibility of the conventional reality, these two cannot go in hand to hand. These two cannot be compatible. So don't never say that everything's illusion. Everything's illusion-like. Illusion-like means everything exists. Everything exists as they are. Yes, over there.
So you say that don't accept everything from life.
Yes.
Earlier you said if you're a Christian, you're a Buddhist. Now religion asks us to accept a lot of things on life. Isn't that a contradiction?
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So let's say when I teach physics, right? I would for sure tell you that please don't disrupt your religion, right? But this physics, don't take it blindly. You're getting it? But you, other things you take blindly, that is your hand. I have nothing to say. What I'm teaching, if you want to enjoy this don't take it blindly. Other things is your hand. Even this, what I'm teaching now, right? Don't take it blindly. I request you, but finally you take it blindly or not, again it's you in your hand, right? And you go home and you tell your wife that, oh, this person, he said, never, don't take this blindly. Now it's my choice, that what he taught, I'll take it blindly. That's also in your hands. Finally, you are the master of yourself, right? So the point is, what I'm teaching here, this I request you not to take it blindly. And the other things you take blindly, that's your choice, right? I request you not to take alcohol. But if you take alcohol, not alcohol at home, that's your choice, right? Okay, good. Maybe no contradiction. Okay. Yes.
Let me ask you a general question.
Yes.
Based on your first lecture.
Yes.
Wisdom of Buddha and modern science of psychology, there is no dichotomy between them. They are very much complement each other. But we also know the brain and our mind, they are different, but at the same time, they are interdependent with each other. And earlier psychology was
Okay, this is a very interesting point. In fact, I remember that His Holiness the Dalai Lama very clearly said that in, if modern science proves that there's no rebirth, close the chapter rebirth, right? Very strong. If modern science proves. So the point is that they finally, all these great teachers came on this earth to help us, not to create us more problems. So what is reality? We have to accept it. The neuroscience, this amazingly sophisticated the stream, discipline coming up. And yes, there is they say the mind and brain correlation. And today the neuroplasticity, this being taught, how the, as you said, how the brain can affect the mind and how the mind can affect the brain. There's mutuality of dependency between the two. So this, all these things are there, and not only that, there's a scope. In fact, His Holiness the Dalai Lama encouraged the monastic universities to study science. So today, if you go to the big monastic universities where there are like thousands of monks, so the monks, as a part of their curriculum, with the traditional studies of philosophy and psychology, they also have a science studies. The subject is there, is very much there, and very intricate research being done in collaboration between the Western scientists and even the Indian scientists. For example, today, NIMHANS, National Institute of the Mental Health and Neuroscience, and the monastic university, two of them are collaborating. They signed an MOU to do a research on these issues. So one coming from contemplative tradition and the other coming from neuroscience, and they are now collaborating. Yeah, this is very much happening. Yeah, good. Okay, so we have now 30 minutes for the 30 years of studies. Okay. I'm just going to give a quick review of what we are discussing. What is this? So what we said, glass of water. And the physicists would say this is a bunch of electrons, protons, neutrons. Do you agree with me that these two perceptions, the same object seen as water, the same object seen as a bunch of electrons, protons, neutrons, the perceptions are totally different. Perceptions are different. Do you agree with me or not? Good. There are two different perceptions. And you said both are correct, both are right. I agree with you. Why? In the case of the second, the physicists, particle physicists, they don't see the water when they look at it through electron microscope. They just see a bunch of electrons, protons, neutrons. Why don't they see the water? Anybody? Yes. 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 So the resolution of the electron microscope is much smaller, but there's water there. If there's water there, why not the water appears to that? Huh? Okay, so it is, so the, okay, so he's trained under this electron microscope, he's trained to see as the electrons, protons, neutrons, not to see the water, not to see the water. So physics, no, this, so say the two perceptions, they're very different perceptions, you're getting it? Why, in the case of the first, for us, we don't see electrons, protons, neutrons. For the physicists under electron microscope, why the water is not visible? We can also look for something else, but we continue to see as water. Huh? Okay, they're looking deep into it, and then zoom out. Why do you have to zoom out to see water? Electrons. Okay, let's not forget. What's your name? Okay, let's not forget what Bharati is saying. We zoom out to see water, right? We zoom in to see electrons, protons, neutrons. Let's not forget it. Okay, the girl here. Hey, this girl. You raise your hand. Veda. Oh, different perspective. Good. Let's not forget it. There's Chetan. When the setting is different, situation is different, perception is different. So this girl said what? You said what? No, just what you said. Don't mimic others. How you look at it. How you look at it. So here, your name? Bharatiji. Bharatiji said that zoom in, and Bharatiji put it so nicely. Zoom in, you will see electrons, protons, neutrons. Zoom out, you see water. You're getting it? Okay, and then the Chetan says that so zooming in, zooming out, you are creating a different situation. So Chetan put it in a different word, that under different situation, then you see things differently. You getting it? Let's not forget it. Now my question to you is that let's say that group A and group B, say I hold this water here, here. Group A, you look at through your naked eyes. Group B, you look at through electron microscope. So I ask group A, what is this? We'll say this is water. You are zooming out. From distance you are seeing this. Now the physicist, electron microscope, you zoom in. What is this? Bunch of electrons, protons, neutrons, no water. You're getting it? Which means that there are two perceptions taking place under two different situations. Zoom in, zoom out. You're getting it? Now, I'm not going to alter this object. I keep this object as it is. I don't even touch it. I'll just keep it here. I just keep it here. I'll not even touch it. You're getting it? So on the object, there's no change. But change happens where? The subject, your mind, your perception. Now, okay, look at the object again. And how does this object appear to you? As coming from the object, or you're like a dream, your mind is projecting it? How does it appear to you? Raise hands. Very quick. Quick. How does this object appear to you? Yes. Yes, from the object. It's not like my mind is creating it. This is how it appears. This is deception. That the object appears as from the object. From the object. The dream goes, although it's coming from the subject, but you see it's coming from the object. Then the fear arises. You're getting it? So this object also, it appears as from the object. It's from the object come to your mind. Let us see if this is true. Okay. Now what we see is group A, your naked eyes. Group B, through electron microscope. These are two different minds. The first mind, let me call it conventional analysis. The second mind, conventional analysis, because conventional we say this is water. So this analysis or this subject mind, we call it conventional analysis. And your mind, group B's mind, we call it ultimate analysis. So somebody said it, zoom in. Bharati said it, zoom in, which means that you go towards the object to see what is really there. So that's ultimate. Really means ultimate. What is ultimately there? What is really there? So your analysis, I call it ultimate analysis. And your analysis, I call it conventional analysis. Okay. Through conventional analysis, you see just water. Through ultimate analysis, you see no water. Bunch of electrons, protons, neutrons, no water. Okay. Now my question to you is, if I remove the two subjects, I don't touch the object. If I remove the two subjects, conventional analysis and ultimate analysis, my question to you, what is this? So you are saying that it's water with respect to your perception, your conventional analysis. You remove this, right? I'm talking about the object, I'm not talking about the subject. Remove the subject. And you are saying it's just bunch of electrons versus neutrons. There's no water there. That is with respect to your perception. Remove the perception. What is this object? This is my question. Anyone? If you can give me the answer. Again, liquid, right? For the under electron microscope, you will not see the liquid also. Okay, so now your name. Okay, what Binduji is saying is that, what is this? If you remove the two subjects, it makes no sense. There's nothing there's to be identified as object. Okay, how many your thinking is in line with what Binduji is saying? Raise hands. Okay, how many of you would think that still something is there? If the two subjects are removed, it doesn't matter. Something is there. Raise hands. Okay. And how many of you think that if the two subjects are not there, then what is there? It doesn't make any sense. Raise hands. Binduji, 1. Chetan, 2. Raise hands. Okay, here 3. Okay. This is so now let's see from this, if what Binduji, Chetan and Sandoji, if what 3 of them are saying is correct, it's very scary, right? How you look at it determines what the object is. If your subject is not there, then the object makes no sense. Then what is this world? It cannot be described as physical. It cannot be described as non-physical also. It cannot be, it is totally undescribable. This is why the ultimate reality is known as indescribable reality. It's very scary though. It's very scary, but if you understand it, really get it, initially you can have a tinge of fear come in your mind. If it is little fear, there's a fear there, you continue with this practice, then the fear will be replaced with a tremendous peace of mind. This peace of mind we have never experienced before. You're getting it? This is so precious. Okay, now okay. Let's say form or the water, right? Water, what group A sees as water is what group B sees as empty. Form is empty. You're getting it? Now number 2, what group B sees as empty is what group A sees as form, as water. So form is empty, emptiness is form. Okay. Now the next is emptiness is none other than form, meaning that what group B sees as emptiness, there's no water there, and what group A sees as there is water. These two are by no means objectively, there's no difference. It's the same object. What group A describes as form or water is what group B describes as no water. What group B describes as no water, empty or water, is what group A describes as water. So emptiness is also not other than form. Form is also not other than emptiness. Okay. So with this, let's see how we can change this discrimination, to change the feeling, to change this intention. Let's say that Dr. Savita Ji takes all of us to Mount Kailash for pilgrimage, right? Pilgrimage, if you don't believe that it is holy site, don't worry, it's at least a beautiful place. Let's go for a beautiful place, go there. And Dr. Savita explains that it's so beautiful, the snow is so spick and span clean, so beautiful. But be careful, there's this glare from the snow which can burn your eyes. For that we need goggles. We need goggles. And there are two goggle shops available. One is made in something, I don't know. Second one is made in Japan. First one, I don't know, there's, made in something. And group A, where would you go? To the Japan made or the other one? Santoshi? Huh? It doesn't matter. Okay, you go to the other shop. Other shop, the goggles are very bad quality. It's very murky, not clear. But the Japan made is extremely clear, beautiful clear. So group B says that, okay, the Bindu, which will you go? Japan. Okay, group B, Japan. Extremely clear goggles. And group A, because Santosh is not too interested, right? So he says, okay, it's fine, we go for any shop. And then the group A goes to the other shop, because the first shop is not picked up by Bindu. Okay, now they have this, not clear, but murky goggles. You go to Mount Kailash, and the group A says, wow, it's so beautiful. And group A says, what is there? It's so dirty, right? It's very dirty. And then the Paradi just said that, don't worry, we'll start a Mount Kailash Clean project. Right? So the Paradi initiated a Mount Kailash Clean project to clean Mount Kailash. And group B, no, we don't need any project. It's already so clean, so beautiful. Okay, these two groups, are they looking at the same Mount Kailash or you're looking at two different Mount Kailashes? Same Mount Kailash. What makes the difference in the perception? Because of the goggles, not the Mount Kailash. You getting it? Your goggles make the difference. So what you see as how group B sees an extremely clean Mount Kailash, this is known as the perfect purity of your mind. You see the world is divine. How the same object is seen by group A as very dirty. That is technically referred to as misery or samsara. So, finally, agitation, which is a trigger for agitation, stress, anxiety. How things are seen by group B, this gives us the ease, beauty. It's the same object. So, form, the dirty Mount Kailash is empty of being dirty. Form is empty. But group BC says emptiness of empty of dirtiness of the Mount Kailash is seen as the dirty Mount Kailash by group A. And these two are the same object. These two are not two different objects. Emptiness is also not different from the form, and form is also not different from the emptiness. There's no difference there. Okay, so this is extremely important. Now, you may wonder, I'm sure one question that will come to you is, but then in real life, when you're hungry, then you cannot say that, oh, my food is mentally created, then you mentally create a food. No, this is not health. You have to go to kitchen. You have to have real food. So how would you reconcile these if everything is coming from your mind? So for this is a very sophisticated question. For this, one thing that we need to know is that the dreamlike and dream, illusion-like and illusion, we need to make a distinction between these two. For that matter, what is required is that we need to know the concept of dependent origination. We need to know the concept of dependent origination. Okay, so this is very important. Now to resolve this problem, our understanding should see the nuances the nuances between what is dream and what is dreamlike. Okay, in dream, the cause and effect, the causal relationship is defined in dream. Okay, how many agree with me? In dream, cause and effect is not really fully what do you call it? Followed. It is defined oftentimes. Okay, Bindu, yes. How many had that experience? Raise hands. In dream, for example, let's say, okay, I want to have a chocolate, and then I pick up this flyer, and the flyer instantly becomes a chocolate. This defies the law of cause and effect. It defies the law of cause and effect. That is dream. In real life, this cannot happen. I pick up the flyer and it becomes a chocolate. And I want a car, the chocolate becomes a car. It happens only in dream, not in the real life. So, so magic? No. So this is magical illusion. So magical illusion there, because the magicians, they also want money. Why do they have to go in the public? Right? They can make money in their house. Right? They have to go to the public and beg for money. Right? Please put some money in this hat. Right? And then I'll show that I make this flyer into $100,000. But finally what he gets is 200 rupees. Right? Which means that he's creating illusion. He's not creating a real $200,000. Right? This is illusion. Okay. So with this, what we need to know is that the distinction between, say, if this question comes to you, okay, what is said, it's interesting, but it does not really make sense, because it defines with the reality. That in reality, when I'm hungry, then if the food is coming from my mind, then I just imagine food and I eat it, then my hunger should go, but it never goes away. And I want promotion, right, in my job. I imagine that I get a promotion, I become a CEO, it doesn't happen, right? And then what else? What else? I want that all the social evils to go away. The war, Ukraine-Russian war, stops. I just imagine it. I imagine that COVID disappears. It doesn't disappear. So what he said is not true. So for this, we need to know the distinction between dream and dreamlike, illusion, illusion-like. In the illusion-like, it's not that what you think it becomes like that. It does not happen like this. In other words, okay, do you agree with me that all girls are human beings? Yes, no. All human beings are not girls. Yes, no. Likewise, everything that exists is subjectively imputed. What is subjectively imputed may not be existent. You getting it? All girls are human beings. All that exists should be subjectively imputed. But all human beings are not girls. What is subjectively imputed may not be existent. Let's not forget it. This is so important. You got it? Okay. With this, for this now, how would you then distinguish between what is a dream and what is dreamlike? In dream, the cause and effect is defined. In dreamlike, cause and effect follows. In infallible, cause and effect follows. Cause and effect follows infallibly. This is distinction. And how to further explain it, this is very important. For that, we need to know this dreamlike meaning, not empty of being real, emptiness. Emptiness. So this emptiness, only if you know emptiness is a light of dependent origination. Number 2. This is very important. And dependent origination should be seen as middle way. Let me repeat it. Emptiness means from the object there's nothing there as anything. Emptiness. This means not nihilism, that nothing exists. No, it means dependent origination. Dependent origination means the middle way. So there are three things. A equals B. B equals C. Therefore, A equals C. Do you agree with me with this calculation? Is there anybody from mathematics? A equals B and B equals C. Therefore, A equals C. Do you agree with me? Therefore, emptiness equals dependent origination. Dependent origination equals middle way. Therefore, emptiness equals the middle way. You getting it? Okay. Now you may be wondering, oh, suddenly he come up with the, say, a big conclusion. How is emptiness equals dependent origination? 5 points. Emptiness equals, first I made two statements. Emptiness equals dependent origination. What is statement number 2? What is statement number 2? Dependent origination means the middle way. Therefore, emptiness means the middle way. Very good. So for that, my job is to tell you how emptiness equals dependent origination and how dependent origination equals emptiness, and your job is therefore emptiness equals dependent origination. Oh, what? Middle way. The first, how is emptiness equals dependent origination? 5 points. Number 1. First one is emptiness itself. Number 2, emptiness is a short form of emptiness of independent existence. For example, how many of you know who? Raise hands. How many of you know who? Raise hands. Okay, the youngest one is there, 19 years old, she knows who. How many of you know who? Raise hand. Number 2, huh? WHO, you're getting it? Everybody knows who. Who are you? This is not a meaning. Who is a short form of World Health Organization. Likewise, emptiness does not mean everything is empty. Emptiness is a short form of emptiness of independent existence. You're getting it? So, number 1 is emptiness. Number 2 is emptiness is a short form of emptiness of independent existence. Number 2. Number 3. Emptiness of independent existence means nothing exists independently. Number 3. Nothing exists independently. Number 4. If nothing exists independently, everything exists by? If nothing exists independently, then everything exists by dependence. This is number 4. If everything is dependently existent, then everything should be dependently originated. Number 5. You getting it? Okay, that part is done. My first job is done. Now what is my second job? Hey, what is my second job? Huh? What happened? Huh? How is dependent origination equals to the middle way? Okay, and dependent origination has two sides. Dependence and origination. First, dependence. When we say dependence, what is the opposite of dependence? Independence. When you say dependence, independence is rejected. Extreme of independence is rejected. Independent, absolute, they mean the same. Extreme of absolutism, extreme of independence is rejected by the first part, dependence. Origination, second part, origination. Origination means something comes into origination, something comes into existence. What's the opposite of existence? Non-existence, nihilism. So with origination, it rejects the extreme of nihilism. Combining the two together, dependent, which rejects the extreme of independence or absolutism, and origination, which rejects the extreme of nihilism, bringing the two together rejects the two extremes. Rejecting the two extremes make you follow the middle way. Therefore, dependent origination connotes the middle way. You getting it? So now your job. What's your job? What's your job? I did 2 jobs, and your job's only one. What's that job? Therefore, emptiness is the middle way, it's not nihilism. So, if ever you come to get a feeling that, oh, I'm hungry, I'm sick, so he said that everything's coming from the mind, so I think of food, but it doesn't fulfill. So here, what you are thinking of, you are thinking of emptiness as nihilism. So, to say that, you also remember that emptiness is not nihilism. My thinking is nihilistic. Okay. So therefore, the good understanding, somebody who has a good understanding of emptiness, it says that deeper you understand emptiness, more you respect the infallibility of the cause and effect. If in the pretext of understanding emptiness, if you defy the cause and effect, if you defy the infallible, conventional, the functions, then you are falling into nihilism. You're not into emptiness. Okay. So with this, so these things, what I've here, this will be discussed a little quickly tomorrow after the talk on compassion. One is a wing of the wisdom to create fearlessness. Once you see that everything is yes, everything is just purely subjective situation. Then you see that you gradually come to realize that what is seen is there, what is seen as there is actually coming from the subject. So therefore they are like dreams. They are not dreams, they are like dreams. Once you know that everything is like dream, then just as you wake up, any content of the dream cannot have any effect on your mind. Likewise, the moment you realize that everything is like your dream, like dream coming from your mind, nothing can affect your mind. Your mind is totally at peace and ease. So that is no fear. The fear means something may happen to me. There's nothing really there from the object which can affect me. Okay, this is what will help us to get the fearlessness. And this says, if you get it, then physiologically you could feel it. That is extremely, from the core of your heart, you could feel that there's a tremendous ease coming to you which we have never experienced before. And this is to be discovered, not to be invented. This is to be discovered through the analytical inquiry, not through blind faith. This is so important. Okay, so the next part is the other wing, the wing of compassion. The first one is the wing of the wisdom to create fearlessness, and the other is the wing of the compassion, which will give you the infinite happiness. So that is for tomorrow. Okay. So, some questions if you have, although time is up. Some questions if you have, yes. Hallucination. Oftentimes, the hallucinating person is very fearful, and oftentimes, but sometimes the person can be very ecstatic, and sometimes very neutral, but talking very rubbish, right? Although we are all hallucinating, but there is on another level of hallucination. The common hallucination is normal. So what is the other person hallucinating? This is what the common people see as the hallucination. It is also hallucination. So there, is purely mental creation which does not tally with the reality. So whereas the illusion-like in the illusion-like nature of the phenomena, there is total conformity with the reality. More questions? Yes. 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 These four lines. Yes, I don't know how to operate. The form is empty. Emptiness is form. Forms. Although also. Yes, yes, it's coming from that. So, thank you. Yes, I'm really going through a 100 meters dash. It's not a marathon. Okay, so Heart Sutra. This is a sutra. Sutra means teaching of the Buddha on the perfection of wisdom. Teaching of Buddha on the perfection of wisdom, and I don't have it here. It's very short text, and these four lines are the essence of that particular text. And the perfection of wisdom, there are so many teachings, but essence of which is known as Heart Sutra. Heart Sutra is just about like 2 pages. And from this essence, what is essence from there, these four lines form the quintessential of this Heart Sutra. Yeah, it's all about how everything is like a dream. And if you want to have it, I'll be happy to send you. You can just write to me. Yeah, a copy of Heart Sutra. Thank you. More questions? No? Raise hands if you have questions. Say it again. I agree with you fully. This is what I just from the day one, I said this is what in the monastic universities the scholars learn for 20 years. And if you're interested, luckily we are doing this for, Dr. Anitaji, she did this course. Yeah. This for like 5.5 years. In the monastic universities, they study for like 20 years. And the Sharmilaji and the Elroy, they study this course. This for 1.5 years. Yes, of course, it requires a more extensive explanation. Yes. Okay, emptiness in the middle. This is your job. Right, my job is the first two. Okay. How emptiness equals dependent origination, number 1. Number 2, how dependent origination equals the middle way. Therefore, how emptiness equals the middle way. The first, how emptiness equals dependent origination. Under 5 points. First point is emptiness. Number 2 is emptiness means it's a short form of emptiness of independent existence. Number 3, emptiness of independent existence means nothing exists independently. Number 4, nothing exists independent means everything exists by dependence. Number 5, everything exists by dependence means everything is dependently originated. This is one part. This is how emptiness means dependent origination. Number 2, how dependent origination means the middle way. Dependent origination has 2 sides, dependence and origination. The first, dependence. When we say dependence, it rejects independence. It rejects the extreme of independence. Extreme of independence and the independence and absolutism mean the same. Absolutism. So it rejects extreme of absolutism. Origination, second part. Origination means something comes to no origination. Something comes to the existence. So what's the opposite of existence? Non-existence or nihilism. So origination, it rejects the extreme of nihilism. So Dependence, it rejects the extreme of absolutism. Origination rejects the extreme of nihilism. It rejects two extremes. Combining the two together, rejecting the two extremes, is following the middle way. Is following the middle way. So therefore, dependent origination equals the middle way. So from this, number one, emptiness equals dependent origin. This is A equals B. Number dependent origin equals the middle way, which is B equals C. By default, A equals C. Therefore, A equals C. Yeah. Good? Okay. Now, what's the benefit of understanding this dependent origination? This is very important. If you see the dependent origination or interdependency, your compassion grows. Your sense of concern for the world grows. Your sense of concern for the family members grow. I'll show you one anecdote. It's a real life anecdote. And you have to tell me when I ask the question. I was going from Manali to, I was crossing the Rohtang Pass. How many cross Rohtang Pass? Raise hands. 1. Rohtang Pass. Manali. 2, 3. Okay. So there's a pass. Now you don't have to go through Rohtang Pass. Now there's a shortcut there. A tunnel is there. Before that, you have to go cross the Rohtang Pass and then climb down and then go to Lahul Spiti. So I was to go there, and I was passing the Rohtang Pass. So what happened? It was my first time. My first time crossing the Rohtang Pass. What happened? That I was totally clueless, and I had entirely dependent on somebody else, my friend. And he hired a taxi for me, a small taxi. And in the middle of the Rohtang Pass, the taxi got stuck. Impossible that you can call the mechanics. So I was quite scared. You wouldn't believe, there were so many people without even I and the driver calling for help. They were so jovial, laughing, smiling, and some 3, 4, 5, the strong gentlemen, they lifted the small car and put it in the safe place for us to drive. Wow, I was so relieved. Wow, this is humanity. I was so happy. After 1 month, coming back, again, my friend hired a small taxi. So this time we got stuck in a different place. Again, Rohtang Pass, but at the top of this mountain, at the top. It was already 6 p.m. It was drizzling. 6 p.m. night, I cannot go down. So that was the mud, like 1 feet, 1.5 feet mud. And the car got stuck there. And I thought, don't worry, humanity is there. People come to help us. We just did. Nobody came. Nobody came. Then I told, it was already becoming dark. I told the driver, now we should not feel shy. We have to, stop other cars coming, the request for help. And the driver told us, we started to stop. No car stopped. They all passed by like this. They all passed by. Okay, tell me, why in the first case, people without being asked for, they came to help us? Why in the second case, we requested them to help, nobody came to help? Why? Guess, very quick, before you stop. Yes, over there. Day and the night, the lady, the girl there. Louder, louder, I cannot hear you. Going up. Yes. So what happened exactly? What's your name? Angela. So what Angela said is perfectly the case. What happened was that in the first going up, What happened was that we got stuck there, and behind us there were thousands of cars. All these cars have to be stopped. They cannot move if my car is not moved. By dependence on saving my car, their cars can go smoothly. By dependence on not saving my car, their car also have to stop. Dependent on origination. They see it so visibly right in front of the nose. They feel compassionate towards us. They feel sympathetic. Readily coming to help us, that originates within them, seeing the dependent origination, dependency. In the second case, as Angela said, at the top it was flat and wide road at the top. So our car got stuck in one place, but the other place is empty. Everybody can pass by. So whether they got stuck here, they die in the night, who cares? As long as it will not affect us. So they don't see dependent origination. And particularly there was one person, we stopped, and the person stopped very briefly. And then somehow he changed his mind and he left. He did not see dependent origination. So what happened? And then finally somehow we stopped. 5 Indian bikers were there, 5 gentlemen. And these 5 gentlemen, somehow in the past they went to a Tibetan small colony. So they saw me in the Buddhist robes. They stopped. And they helped us. And our car was rescued. And our car was driving down. And then that person who stopped and left, that person, his car got stuck there. So he did not see dependent origination, because the dependent origination was not right in front of his nose. Right? It was a little far away from his nose. Right? So had he seen this before, oh, my car can also get stuck, I might depend on them, then he would easily help us. But he didn't help us because he couldn't see dependent origination. Right? Later on, he must have regretted that when he saw that our car passed by very, comfortably. So, sorry? Me. So what happened was that there were other cars also. So this man was just looking at a car like this with a feeling of guilt and transporting all his family members to some other cars. No, what I'm saying is that I would be happy to stop. I would be happy to stop. But he was feeling guilty to see me. And he was rather requesting some other cars. Okay. This is where, if you really see dependent origination, why is that, for example, say small children, toddlers, I forget about toddlers, let's say 5 years old, 10, 6 years old, 7 years old, they only see today at the playground. They don't, they are not interested in school. So 10 years old, 15 years, these 12 years old, yes, school is important, but they cannot see PhD. They cannot see becoming professor, vice chancellor, and so forth. But somebody in 20s can see, PhD, vice chancellor, and so forth. So, say as you grow older, as you become more mature, you can see dependent origination further and further away. So, shorter the duration in terms of space and time, you see dependent origination. This is ordinary beings. The further away, you see dependent origination, you are the evolved beings. So these evolved beings should be the leaders of the nation, should be the leaders of the world. Then, for example, like His Holiness the Dalai Lama, if you see that the people, all the leaders of the world, they are like him. No wars, 100%. The world, all these billions of dollars invested on armament, they all will be used for education, for the health, for the medical facilities, health, and so forth, education, and so forth. So people can really thrive. Why should the citizens of the world suffer hunger and thirst, so forth, while millions and billions of dollars are wasted on the borders and on armaments, simply because of the leaders not seeing dependent origination? This is the point. So it's just a fight. Why do you have to fight? Embrace, and all this money will be left. You can use this money for other purposes. Yeah, there are so many people starving. So why should the world starve? Okay, thank you. See you tomorrow.